prostate, a male organ, which is a gland that is seated at the exit of the urinary bladder, seated deep in the perineum, is governed by hormones. The hormone changes, which start in the 30s, 40s and go on into the 50s and 60s and 70s, brings about unnatural changes in this natural gland, and that is without your permission and without your knowledge. The changes are gradual and the changes are slow and could present in therefore three different forms. One presentation could be very silent, a presentation that you may not be aware of, a presentation that is picked up on health checkups where you see an enlarged prostate, where you see a very high urinary residual volume left over, or you pick up a hydroureteronephrosis, or a silent change could be picked up by a blood test called serum PSA, which could be alarmingly high than the 4 nanogram percent. That was a silent change. The symptomatic change could be one where somebody has got a difficulty in passing urine, which is progressive, gradual, and actually happening for months, years, and even decades. The progressive change could be presenting as an enlarged prostate, and the enlargement of the prostate brings about an occlusion to the urinary passage, which in a very common man's term is enlargement of the prostate on sonography. So that enlargement probably could bring about a change to the internal environment of the prostate, which actually embodies the urethra or the urinary passage which exits from the urinary bladder. So that's another change. And the third and the final change I was talking about, which could be a carcinoma prostate, or a presentation which could be very incidental, but with an examination of a finger examination called a digital rectal examination, DRE, with raised PSA levels, and with possibly heterogeneous prostate, which is also enlarged in time, could be picked as a cancer prostate, a hormone-related change which happens in the prostate, an adenocarcinoma. So these three presentations may be happening at varied intervals or varied time in life, and they all are not going to interpose over each other. That means they don't convert into each other. A prostatitis is an inflammatory or infective phenomena. Enlargement is a natural phenomena because the hormone-related changes which happen in the prostate would undergo that involvement of hyperplasia, which brings about a growth. Not all enlarged prostates will cause occlusion to the urinary passage. And finally, the change towards carcinoma or cancer is without your knowledge, which could present either very silently or with symptoms of urinary passage, which men need to know. So starting late 40s, early 50s and beyond, prostate brings about unnatural changes to your entire behavior of the urinary flow. A very computerized mechanism where a bladder would contract and the passage would open and urine would flow out and you could paint on the wall changes gradually over years and maybe decades. It doesn't happen over months. So which means the prostate causing an occlusion to the urinary passage brings about a decrease in the flow of urine. The flow could be slowing down. It could even become a very natural thin stream, which you accept as normal, but that is an age-related change. The prostate changes could also bring about straining to pass urine because the occlusion is happening around and therefore incomplete emptying of urine. The brunt is suffered by the urinary bladder, which has to contract and probably increase its pressures to such level so that it could take away the resistance offered by the prostate for the urinary flow. So you are pushing harder to open the door as a urinary bladder and therefore facing the brunt of the bladder undergoing a change, which is a secondary overactivity of the bladder. The bladder is working hard to bring about the same flow, or the flow still poorer because the occlusion is natural and progressive. And because it's progressive and silent, many a times we miss it out. Cancer prostate may not come with symptoms, or it may come with a very advanced disease or a very incidental phenomenon. In today's world, when men undergo their health checkups, where prostate health checkup is looked at by a serum PSA, looked by a sonography, and almost always a urologist in your city needs to be looking at you by examining you, understanding the changes that you have talked about. He picks up a cancer prostate much earlier. Cure today, which was always there before by radical prostatectomy, has now shifted on to robotic radical prostatectomy, where a few times a week I go ahead with removal of the entire prostate and bringing about a joining of the urinary passage into the bladder and therefore giving a continued natural flow. The organ which has got a disease but still localized is completely removed. So that's radical robotic prostatectomy. So on the awareness of prostate issues, it's important for us to understand that there are three ways you could neglect your changes around. If you have a urinary complaint and you are in your 40s, 50s to 70s and 80s and you are postponing it, then you possibly are letting the progress happen to a point of no return. If you are on medications by your doctor in your cities and you don't get results out of it, in other words, you have a poor flow, I give you a medicine which does not improve the flow of urine, or you have got issues which are not resolved in the urinary passage which you're complaining of or bothersome, then possibly the medicine is not acting or the disease process is overwhelming the medical management. And therefore, there's a reassessment required by your urologist, which we do either by a urodynamics or by revisiting the entire subject, looking at your history, changing of medications, or who knows, bringing about a cure by a possible surgery, which could be a TURP or a HOLEP. The changes which happen progressively may sometimes be overwhelmed by a good medicine which you have been taking for a long time. So on medication, which is sometimes going to last for a long time, if you have a progression of a change or there is no result that you seek or aim, or your doctor on the other side of the table assesses you and finds that the progression of change is overwhelmed by medical management, which is not acting in your benefit, then we need to revisit the subject. And therefore, all your complaints which you have in terms of poor flow of urine, obstructive urinary symptoms of straining to pass urine, passing urine multiple times at night, the frequency and urgency which is of recent onset and so bothersome that you can't control urine, and you understand that I don't empty my bladder completely, are a very important and ominous symptoms that needs to be told to a urologist. He in turn, having examined you, asks you to do a test called uroflowmetry, a test which tells all. Uroflowmetry is like an ECG of the bladder. It gives you that curve which gives us an idea as to what is it away from the deviation of the natural curve. And that gives us an idea that we could probably keep you on a medical management. We could reassess this very poor flow by a urodynamic studies, which is an advanced study, to identify who is the culprit. The culprit is a urinary bladder which is too weak and therefore not able to contract anymore, or the passage is so occlusive that the urine does not flow out. This understanding between the bladder and the prostate is gradually undergoing a change by two mechanisms. In large subset of individuals, the prostatic enlargement could be accompanied by an occlusion to the urinary passage. Remember, a very small prostate also can occlude the urinary passage from inside, and a very large prostate may still not cause occlusion or a devastating symptom or a progressive symptom, and therefore the man has never visited his doctor because he had no complaints, while silently the prostate grew as an enlarged organ deep in the pelvis by changes of hormones. So when we understand this subject, we get to know that men complain sometimes when they are too bothered. And the more bothersome symptoms which present to me are those which are urgency, frequency, not able to control urine, getting up multiple times at night, something which is going to bother you. There's no doubt about it. In the background of this, when you interrogate and you interview and you probably go across a friendly consult, you get to know that the patient also has long-standing urinary complaints. So what does it mean? It possibly is a secondary change which has happened now with the bladder suffering the brunt for a long time, and therefore has given you those kind of storage symptoms or irritative voiding symptom which irritates you more, which makes you reach your doctor much earlier. Therefore, identifying yourself, identifying that you could be having an obstruction to the flow which is not natural the way you could paint on the walls in that era, would gradually change. But if it is significantly low, postponing it, not taking the right treatment, not seeing your urologist, taking a treatment and still not getting effective results are all important markers that you need to probably be revisited. And revisiting happens with the natural evaluation, which we look at the progression of your symptoms, we look at the uroflowmetry changing, if need be a urodynamics, and proceed. The other important aspect could be the bladder undergoing a change. The bladder could undergo an independent change or a secondary change. The secondary was to the obstruction to the flow, but it could undergo a change of hypotonicity or a weakening of the bladder, thus called underactive bladder. And the underactivity of the bladder could result from umpteen ways. Again, that is as silent as a prostatic change. And this could be resulted to long-standing diabetes and uncontrolled diabetes, the commonest cause of underactive bladder in the world, where naturally and gradually the bladder undergoes a decay of both the sensations and the contraction power, and therefore bladder may not contract, may not sense that the bladder is too full. These patients may sometimes pass urine once in many hours rather than passing more frequently, and they hold and store a lot of urine with a lot of comfort, but their mechanisms have gone actually deranged. Spinal diseases, stroke, various other phenomena which happens in the pelvis could bring about underactivity of the bladder, and the underactivity of bladder many a times could be a phenomena which may not be completely reversible. So that's another important alarming symptom, that if you are a diabetic, and a diabetic of long standing or a diabetic who is uncontrolled, it is time to wake up. It's time to wake up, go to your diabetologist, look at that diabetes is controlled to such levels that you don't have trouble again. The trouble will happen, and therefore a urologist in the domain would be looking at what is the natural way of improving the tone, if there is any. What is the way of teaching you double warding and trying to empty the bladder? What is the occlusion happening in the prostatic urethra which could bring about additional secondary changes in the bladder? and we all don't want to reach there where we would live on catheters. So prosthetic changes are progressive, prosthetic changes are missed out, and prosthetic changes sometimes could bring about ominous diseases as cancer prostate. Everything can be picked up on day one if you're aware of the symptoms, or you from your 40s to 70s have heard this. What we talk to you is what we talk to our patients regularly. We make them aware and awake to changes which are very unnatural, progressive, and one fine day you wake up when you reach the edge. Prostate is a male organ, and almost every man will go through some change. It is important that he picks up his own complaints in time, or he picks up a health checkup in his 50s and beyond on an annual basis to look at changes which are happening and therefore report. Once you report, you're interviewed, interrogated very friendly, and you are taken on a path of treatment and possibly a cure, depending on what kind of medications and what surgery would you require. It's completely in the domain of the urologist. Friends, postponing your health would not help you anymore. And therefore, while health is in your hands, men's health is in hands of all men who watch this. Prostatic health is something which can be modified, and that modification can be done only by you. So if that can happen, why not today? Look at yourself, look at your complaints, see your urologist in your cities, and probably more and more of you could probably be treated in time, not to allow the natural history of graceful aging, progression of the prostatic changes to a point of no return. Thank you so much.